Welcome to another edition of Career Development Tips with EM. If this is your first time of joining me on this YouTube channel, please subscribe, like, and share with your friends. Today, I'm going to be talking on the career development roadmap. We all need a career development roadmap. It's just like when an architect wants to build a house, there has to be a design before the contractors will begin to build that skyscraper. So also with your career, you need a roadmap that will help you identify exactly how tall you want your career to be, and then you now begin to put those building blocks to help you get there. So today I'm going to be covering three main areas of the career development roadmap. The first thing we're going to look at is what exactly is career development roadmap? What is it? And then we'll look at the 5 steps to create a career development roadmap. And finally, I'll close with the importance of a career development roadmap. We all need one. So let's start with the definition. What is career development roadmap? A career roadmap is a visual representation of the steps you need to take to reach a professional goal, such as a high-ranking position in an organization, or a better job title, or a career of choice. So as you can see from this definition, it's basically a visual step, a visual representation of the steps. So you need to see exactly what it is. So I gave the illustration of an architect or a builder or a real estate person who wants to construct, right? When you look at the architectural drawing, it gives you a visual representation of how the building is going to look like, even before they clear the sites. So that's exactly what your career roadmap should do for you. It should give you a view, that visual representation of where you want to be, if it's in an organization, if it's in terms of job title, or the career choice, career of your choice. Now let's look at, for every career development roadmap, it has 4 main parts. The first part is what I call the starting point. And at the starting point, what do you want to identify? You want to identify where you are now in your career. Where are you right now? That is where you need to start from. And when you've identified where you are right now, the next step or the next part to this roadmap is the destination. Where do you want to go in your career? Where do you want to go in your career? So you need to know the end point from the beginning. It's not that you just keep coasting around until you find yourself where you just find yourself somewhere. You want to know the end from the beginning. So what is the destination? And then the next thing is, because you've known where you are and where you want to go, the third part is the gap. What is that gap? What is the obstacle that you need to overcome in order for you to reach this destination? Are there gaps? What exactly are these gaps, so that you can identify them specifically? Okay, I have these skills. These are the skills required where I'm going to, but this is the skill that I have today. What is that skill that I need, that I'm lacking, so that I can begin to do something about it to get me ready to get to where I need to get to. Then the last part is the routes. Okay? So you've identified where you are, you've identified where you're going, you've compared where you are to where you're going, and you have seen the gap. Okay, the next thing is you need to begin to now plan. What do I need to do to close that gap so that I can get to my destination? So you now start doing those things one after the other. Just like when you are climbing a staircase, you want to get to the top of the floor, you need to begin to climb one after the other. Okay, how many flights of the stairs do you need to take before you get to the final destination? So that's basically what it is. So let's take a look at the steps that you need, okay, to create a career development roadmap. So there are 5 steps, and we'll go through these steps quickly. Before I move in, so if you have any question about your career development roadmap or about your career, please use the comment section, drop the questions, and I will respond to those questions as I go along. And if you're just joining us, please put in let us know the location where you're joining from in the comment section. So let's go to the first step, okay? Step 1 in creating your career development roadmap. The first step is identifying your current position, which was what I tried to show in that 4 parts, okay? And at this stage, what sort of questions do you need to ask yourself? The first question you should be asking yourself is, what are my past experiences? You need to answer this question. What are your past experiences? That will help you identify your current position. What do I enjoy doing? Okay, there are certain jobs that you love doing, or there are certain things that you love doing. This can help you determine your career development roadmap. The next question you would like to answer or ask yourself is, what kind of natural skills and talents do I have? Make a list of these natural skills, make a list of these talents that you have, because you then use them to compare where you want to get to, if these skills are required or relevant for you, and see how you can then apply it. And if there are certain skills that are missing, you don't know what to do. Next question you would like to ask and answer is, what am I doing when I feel most excited or motivated at work? When you're most excited, when you are motivated at work, what do you feel like doing? What is that thing that you enjoy doing? Okay. Do I prefer leading a group, working with peers, or working alone? What's your style of working? Do you like to work? Do you like to lead a group? Do you like to work with peers? Do you like to just work alone? Okay? This will help you determine the kind of job that fits your personality and profile. Then the next question that you need to ask and answer is, what energizes me? What drains my energy? What is that energizes you? What is that drains your energy? You need to know all this, okay? And then, do I have a specific calling in life? Do you have a specific calling in life? You need to ask you and answer that particular question. What about my career motivates me to get up and go to work in the morning? What is it that motivates you about your career? Is there something? Because if you sleep and you wake up and you don't feel like going, then it means that that job is not the right job for you. You need to begin to identify the proper and the right job for yourself. Okay? So these are the questions you need to ask yourself in order to identify your current position. Now let's look at step 2. Step 2 now is identifying your destination, where you want to go. You already know where you are today by answering those questions. Now you want to know where you want to go to. So the next is for you to identify where you want to go with your career by doing the following things. You need to brainstorm. Okay? Brainstorm, ask yourself, research, and then come up with different things that you think you'll be able to do. Okay? So then develop more specific goals in form of concise statements. Specific goals. I want to be a doctor. I want to be a teacher. I want to be X. What is that thing that you want to be? Okay. Then consider the next 5 to 10 years. So if you've chosen you want to become an HR professional, in the next 10 to 5 years, will the HR professional role still be relevant? That career that you are trying to choose, or that professional, will it still be relevant? What are the changes that are likely going to happen? So I will advise that if you've not had access to the World Economic Forum report that talks about future skills, future jobs, it's an opportunity for you to take a look and see, okay, what jobs will still be relevant the next 5 years, will still be relevant the next 10 years, and then see how that applies to you. Now we'll move to step 3, which is doing a gap analysis. Complete a gap analysis by doing the following. Okay? What do you do? Because you already know where you are, you know where you're going, the next step is to do a gap analysis. Okay? And to do a gap analysis, the first thing is to research your goal career. You've identified you want to become an HR professional, or you want to become anything, a business development expert, business analyst, whatever it is that you've identified, research that particular job. Don't just say, okay, I want to be this, and you don't even know what is involved in that particular job. Do a thorough research, okay? And then consult with seasoned professionals. Identify professionals in that particular field. Talk with them. Try to find out what does it take to succeed in that particular job role or in that profession. Then what do? Begin to rate your qualification. Rate your qualification against the qualification that is required for this particular job role or career that you have chosen. Then identify gaps, okay? As you rate what you have versus what you need in the chosen career, you begin to identify a gap and see if there are patterns, okay? There are patterns that you can cluster some of those gaps, and maybe take a particular course and it will help you close out several gaps together. So that's something that you need to do. Then let's look at the fourth step. When you've done that, you have the gap, you have your gap analysis, you need to create your development plan. So this is the time for you now to create that career development plan. And the steps, this particular step involves taking the list of skills, education, and experiences you want to gain, okay, over the next few years, and creating a concrete plan to get your career goals. So what are the things that you need to do? Now list them all, because it's not possible for you to do everything overnight. So you need to list them, and some of them will take time. Okay, some will take a week, some will take a month, some will take 3 months, some will take half a year, some will even take a whole year, some will take more than a year. Okay, so identify them, list them, and then put all this timeline against each one. And when you've done that, you now begin to set small task-oriented goals. What do you need to do every day? What do you need to do every week? What do you need to do every month? What do you need to do every quarter until you eventually accomplish that goal? Then organize it with the timeline. Put timeline. You've listed all those things. Organize them with the timeline. Like I said, daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, annually. Okay, you organize those things. And then as you're writing out this, you need to think smart. You need to be specific. Okay, when we talk about being smart, you need to be specific. Don't just say, I want to run a marathon. And then, okay, you want to run a marathon. So what do you need to do to run a marathon? You need to begin to practice. So you need to say to yourself, every day I will practice. Maybe starting with, if the marathon is 42 kilometers, or you want to run a 10 kilometer or 5 kilometer, you need to set a smart goal and say, every day I'll cover 5 kilometers. Okay? And so you'll be running 5 kilometers until you get used to it, your body system gets used to running 5 kilometers, and then you begin to increase it, 6 kilometers, maybe 7 kilometers, up until you get to 10 kilometers, and then you keep practicing until you are able to make sure that your body can withstand running 42 kilometers. Or if it's just a 10-kilometer race that you want to run, you keep practicing until you're able to attain that 10 kilometers. And then the next thing you might want to say, okay, I want to cover 1 kilometer in 10 minutes, or 1 kilometer in 5 minutes. Okay, so your goal must be specific, and that is what you work towards. Then you need to create task deadlines. So when do you want to get this thing completed? So let's say, for instance, you want to run a race, okay, a 10-kilometer race, or choose a particular career. You want to become a HR professional. You need to be certified, okay? Let's say you want to get certification in HR. You need to set a deadline. When do I want to register for this exam? When do I want to write the exam? Okay? You must be specific. Create that deadline. When do you need to begin revision? When do you need to stop revision? When do you need to take the exam? Okay? If you don't give yourself deadline, you will never start. So you need to give yourself deadline, create that task deadline, and then that will help you to begin. And then the final step is measure your progress and be ready to reevaluate. So as you begin to work on the plan, you need to measure how far you're doing. What are you supposed to cover? And then if things change, you also need to change your strategy. Okay. So the implementation stage now begins with the following steps. The first one, you need to keep track. If you say you're going to do X by so time, you need to keep track and make sure that you do them by the time that you say you want to. The milestones. So make sure you don't just give yourself a long list of activity without breaking them into small milestones. So break them into small milestones so that when you accomplish one of the milestones, you are excited and it motivates you to want to continue on that same track. Then update your goals accordingly. So like you know, the world is dynamic, things are changing, and because the world is dynamic and things are changing, it needs for you to, there might be a new skill today. We didn't have ChatGPT, AI, generic, we didn't have ChatGPT, okay? Say in 2021, maybe it's there, but not in the form that we know it today. And you can see the way generative AI is beginning to affect the way we do our work. So there might be a need for you to now say, okay, this is a new skill that is impacting my profession. I need to learn it, okay? To update your goal. So those are basically the thing. So what is the importance? Okay, the importance of having a career development map. Number one is that it will help you to, one, reach your career goals. It will help you to stay motivated and inspired at work. It will help you to increase your productivity. And finally, it will strengthen your relationship with mentors and supervisors. When you come to a mentor, you come to someone you want him or her to mentor you, and you have a plan, okay, of this is where you want to be, and this is the draft plan that you've made, and you want to talk with them. It will show that mentor or supervisor they're working with that you're a very serious person and you take your career seriously, and they will want to support you. Okay, so that is basically what I have for us. So in conclusion, what I'm saying is that the best way to predict the future is for you to create that future that you so desire with regard to your career. You need to create it yourself. And by having a career roadmap, a career development roadmap, that will be the starting point for creating this particular future. So this is a picture of the last, I think last year, 2023 Lagos Marathon. I participated. And in order for me to be fit to participate, I had to follow just similar to what I've just described here. Have a plan and then begin to work at it, and eventually I participated, and you can see that I have my medal there. So I look forward to also congratulating you, rejoicing with you on your medal. So that is all that I have for us today. Like I said, if you have questions, please put them in the comments section and I would respond to them. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, share it with your friends, and join me again next Monday at 6 p.m. West African time. Thank you very much. Bye.